Welcome to the BumbleKast. I'm your host, Ian Flynn, the Bumble King, and joining me as always is my Bumble co-host, Kyle, JCRB Krause.
It's Wednesday yet again. Or is it? Hold on. No, it's Friday. Ah, crap. I've already screwed it up, Ian. I've already ruined it.
This gets shuffled around in the schedule and it comes out on a Monday or something. So it's going to be a surprise for everyone.
What day is it? I don't know. What year is it?
All I know for sure is that we've got a bunch of questions from our patrons over at patreon.com/BumbleKast, Ko-fi.com/BumbleKast, and our YouTube members.
Yes, indeed. Let's just jump right on in with his question from Morless. It's May, and we all know what that means. It's Paper Mario 1000-Year Door Month. So, Mr. Flynn, which partner is your favorite? Do you have a favorite boss? Favorite chapter?
So it's June now.
We're a little late.
That tells you where we are in the backlog, but, you know, we're trying. Favorite partner is Admiral Bobbery. I mean, now it's hard to pick because 1000-Year Door is my favorite of them, and all of the partners are great. The whole game is just fantastic. But Admiral Bobbery, come on, he's got a little captain hat and a mustache, and he blows things up. I mean, what more do you need in life?
True.
Favorite chapter? Any of them with Bowser, honestly. I know that's kind of cheating and they're not like full chapters, but all the Bowser mini missions were just delightful. I wanted more of them.
Yeah. I don't know. I might have to go with Yoshi Kid for mine, just because of that whole chapter with him. It's the Great Gonzalez. Was just super fun. Maybe
that for the chapter, like the build up to Rockhawk, the actual fight with Rockhawk, all of that.
Yeah.
Like I distinctly remember thinking, oh, okay, I see how this is going. He's just going to be nothing but, you know, fluff, and we're going to expose him as a fraud, and the real villain will show up and we'll have to fight them at the end of this tournament. No.
Nope.
No. The Rock. Oh, he hawks, and that hawk he rocks. And he may have actually beat me the first time I challenged him because I was thinking it would be a joke fight or something. It's like, oh no.
No, this is very...
No.
It's very real. Yeah.
He's going to bring the pain and you're going to leave with goodie bags.
Also, shout out to Vivian and Goombella. I love them both dearly as well. And all of the partner characters are great, but yeah. All right, Mixaker17 has a question. You know, if you think about it, Sonic is hedgehog bald and can't grow body hair to compensate. His parents both had an extra top bit of hair. Chuck had the Chuck stash. Sonia, Manic, and Alina had extra hair and or top quills. And Amy has a bit of extra hair. And Shadow and Silver have chest fluffed and longer quills. You think you may realize this too, and him calling Eggman Baldy McNosehair is his way of projecting his anger that he's Baldy McNohair.
Oh, no. Sonic is normal. Everybody else just has some kind of fungus.
Everyone else is just weird. Yeah. Everyone's got weird growths. Yes.
It's tragic, but, you know, it's just how it is. Sonic, however, is fast enough that it can't take hold. So he's the only truly healthy one out of any of them.
Oh, okay. So it's like the metal virus, but it's the hair virus.
Yeah. Now, luckily, it's non-lethal and you can style it. You can hide it very well, but that poor Silver, it's like a tree covered in lichen or something. It's unsanitary. That's why Sonic was running from Amy all this time. He just didn't want to get infected.
Oh, okay. Well, there we go. Makes sense to me. Question from Noni. Starline gets isekai'd into the world of Chalk Zone, but here's the catch. If you stay within the Chalk Zone for more than 24 hours, you start turning into a zoner yourself. Does he figure a way out, which leaves him more susceptible to a terrible death? Or is he doomed to be stuck, changing him into a chalk person? Which means there's far less to kill him, but there's things that are worse. Or since he's a comic book character, does his medium just change with no issue?
I don't know. Do the folks of Chalk Zone have to worry about people walking by with a garden hose?
I'm being told yes.
Okay.
Yeah, water kills them.
There you go.
But there's a lot of rules with water. I don't know. This might be getting more complicated.
It's been a long time since I watched Chalk Zone, to be fair.
I had to look up to remind myself what it even was. I don't think I've ever seen it, but I do recognize it at least. So
I actually remember the original pilot, and I was surprised when it got picked up for a show way down the line. I was like, oh, hey, I remember this. This is kind of cool.
It's like a few years later.
And from what I remember, the premise is solid enough, but they never really went anywhere with it. Like, I just seem to remember a bunch of episodes kind of hitting the same points, just in different angles. And it's like, oh, this is the show. Okay. Mm-hmm. Then again, it's been a long time. I don't clearly remember it. I don't even remember the character's name, so I'm not giving it a fair shake. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Point is, Starline stays a chalk person because he decided he would stick around and try to, abuse the rules of this universe. Garden Hose comes into play. He washes away. The Isekai adventures continue.
Perfect.
Yeah, as he's, dribbling away, he just kind of shrugs because he's used to it at this point. Chalk it up to my bad luck.
He's been waiting for that one. He thought of that one as soon as he got there.
If he's going out, he's going out on his own terms.
All right. Question from Anonymous. Hi, Ian and Kyle. How would a team up between Indiana Jones and Tangle go?
Surprisingly successful. I mean,
yeah,
she can make up for his normal mortal mobilities. And he's savvy enough to, pull her out of the way of the poison darts or the pit trap or the flamethrowers or whatever. The only real drawback is the entire time, no matter where they are, no matter what the circumstances are, whether it's high adventure or, really desperate circumstances, she's in the background going, dun, 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 dun. Sorry. Dun, dun, dun. Okay. Oh, time down. Sorry.
The funny thing is that Indy has no idea where she got that song from because obviously, it's not diegetic. He doesn't know his own theme song.
Exactly.
Oh man.
Also, I just have this very vivid mental image of Sean Connery lying there on Jehovah begins with an I. And Tango going, J, crash. And Indy's just got like the very end of her tail straining and she's dangling in the abyss going, huh.
Yeah. Is this Tangle replacing Short Round? Maybe. I don't know if there's room for both Short Round and Tangle in one movie.
It would kind of make the minecart chase a little less dramatic because she'd be hopping the tracks.
True.
She would go on the offensive.
What do we call this crossover? Indiana Jones and the Secret Rings?
Oh, I like that.
Thanks, chat. That's a good one. I don't know if Tangle can drive like Short Round, though. Normal Person has a question. The Neo Diamond Cutters trio, and Jewel, and Belle, have been chosen by the Morphin Masters to become Power Rangers. What is their Ranger theme? Colors, and as of most Rangers, can they keep their Ranger identities a secret? Additionally, can Whisper shout to morph?
No, she cannot.
No.
Or, well, yes, she can, but she refuses to.
Does she morph anyway? Because,
yeah. Well, yeah, because, see, the morphers are powered by her wisps.
Aha, there you go. Perfect.
So everybody gets, their own color and their theme to their weaponry.
Yes.
So, we'd have, I guess, because the orange rocket was her original, Whisper's going to have to be the orange one.
Yeah.
Give Tangle blue block, because that tail becoming a sledgehammer would be delightful. If anybody's going to have the patience to hold back and snipe something from a distance that isn't Whispered, that's going to be Lanolin. So she gets cyan laser. Jewel. I almost said Jewel gets green hover, but that's redundant since she can already fly. So she actually gets pink spike for a projectile attack, and Belle gets green hover and is somewhat gymnastic, but it could also be argued she's just falling with style half the time. And I guess the green would already go with her outfit. So
Yeah.
or flip it around. Like Jewel kind of wears kind of a pinky ready suit, so I guess it would work. But you could give pink Spike to Belle, and she shoots little spikes out of her finger.
Yeah.
Tumbling Belle, I think, is a little more on par. Anyway, they all are generally good about it except for Tangle.
Well, I mean, it's going to be real super obvious because their helmets are all going to be shaped like their heads. And like, who's a stretchy tail one? Gee, I can't imagine who it would be.
Look, if the Angel Grove kids couldn't recognize the 5 color-coordinated friends that always hung out together and disappeared when trouble arose, the Morphin Cutters are going to be fine.
Well, I mean...
Diamond Rangers? Ooh, Diamond Rangers.
There you go.
That actually sounds like something.
They couldn't... I mean... I guess so. Oh, man. Onyx the Dawn has a question. The Music Meister from the animated series Batman Brave and the Bold, voiced by Neil Patrick Harris, somehow ends up in Sonic's world as a Mobian. With his ability to hypnotically force others to sing in Broadway style, how does the cast handle him? And how does everyone react when Whisper starts to sing like Barbra Streisand from Hello, Dolly? And yes, that's her actual singing voice.
Absolutely it is. And they would generally think it's kind of weird, but then oddly take it in stride.
I think they would be fine. Yeah. Sonic characters just kind of like, things just happen and they just kind of like, they just go with it for the most part.
Whisper's going to be weirded out. She doesn't like it. She normally doesn't speak above a whisper, and here she is. But, it's a musical, so they're going to unearth their inner thoughts and feelings and work through them in show-stopping numbers. And Whisper, who has the most baggage to carry out on stage, will obviously finally get some closure. But
Lanolin is not happy. She is very annoyed that every time she speaks, it comes out in song.
Well, she's a little self-conscious because she's the only one who comes out as spoken word.
Oh, is it? Okay.
I mean, at least Knuckles can rap. All she's doing is sound like Shatner, and she hates it.
Oh, that's pretty funny. Poor Lanolin, she cannot catch a break these days.
No, but that's kind of the fun.
Yeah. Oh. I actually feel bad for her, unlike Starline, who's missing out on this whole thing, and he is absolutely livid that he's dead.
Send me back, send me back, send me back. I don't care if I die, send me back.
I must sing.
Maybe that's a surprise, as you think, okay, Whisper had her big diva number and everyone's kind of come together. This must be the end of Music Meister's shenanigans, right? And all of a sudden the world goes dark. How does it do that? A spotlight appears. Where's that coming from? One singular sensation. Every little step I take. Diddly diddly dee.
I'm being asked if Shadow sounds like Linkin Park.
No, he's like a blues lounge crooner.
Yeah. There you go. I think that makes more sense.
Am I blue? Am I blue? Aren't these tears in my eyes telling you?
Yeah.
Sonic's sitting there going, I could make a joke out of this, but I really don't want to.
Oh, man. We have a question from Pedanticat. The Sonic franchise is no stranger to having its characters reinterpreted for whatever new continuity features them. While they resemble their original versions in some ways, they also differ from them in others. So if you were to create reimagined versions of these characters that debuted in IDW, such as Tangle, Whisper, Starline, Surge, and Kit, how would you go about putting a new spin on them?
In what context? Like, what is the reinterpreted? What's the other version to go into? Like, if we're talking Sonic Boom,
yeah,
those were very different versions, but recognizable of Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, Amy, and such.
Mm-hmm.
The IDW crew is built for modern Sonic. What are we reinterpreting them into? Are we talking like classic Sonic? Are we talking some different form of Sonic? A new spinoff that is doing its own thing? In which case, what is this new spinoff? What is its direction? What is its tone? What is it going for? And from there, what would the characters be adapted into?
Yakuza.
Well, obviously, they're all Yakuza then.
Makes sense to me.
I mean, you tell me you can't see Tangle rocking it up in that suit, grabbing somebody with her tail and just throwing them into a bench. Somebody tries to run, she grabs a bicycle and hurls at him while she hasn't even like broken stride.
Tangle's the one who smashes the door open with her tail, of course, you know. She's not going to use her hands. Dirty her hands doing that. No. Kiryu is played by himself. Everyone else is a Sonic character.
Okay, so maybe Surgeon Kit would be more like your
I'd play the hell out of that game.
But
yeah. Oh. Oh man, who is Majima? Eggman?
Yeah.
Okay. Or Bean. Oh man. Sonic like a dragon. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's just just go stupid. Let's go. Anyway, next question is from Rabbit Haver. In 2018, you wrote IDW Sonic number 14, which contained panels of Silver being thrown by the ankle by Metal Sonic. On May 19th, 2022, Tumblr user CatGirlGirikiri posted those panels with the caption, "Happy Throwing Him Thursday." Now, every Thursday, Sonic Tumblr celebrates by partaking in Throwing Silver. Each week, participants render their followers' dashboards unusable by reblocking those panels dozens of times in a row. People have drawn fan art. There are multiple videos of people throwing their Silver plushies, including one of him being hurled off a 5-story balcony. In celebration of the 2-year anniversary of the first Throwing Him Thursday, would you both please rank Sonic characters based on how far you think you personally could throw them?
2 years? My poor boy has been yeeted for 2 years?
He's getting yeeted. He's getting yeeted like crazy.
I feel bad. I'm glad folks are enjoying themselves, but what have I done to the poor boy?
Well, I mean, the fandom got attached to it, to be fair, you know. You did it once.
And really, the credit should go to Tracy Ardley and the other artists for rendering it, but
True.
half tempted to sneak in a panel somewhere. Happy Thursday, Silver. Why?
What is this? Man, if you made a reference to Throwing Him Thursday, I think there's a lot of Tumblr people who would melt down in a good way.
Shadow just puts him out a window. Huh, is it Thursday already?
Oh man.
Anyway, characters that we could throw on Thursday or any day, really.
Any day. I could take Charmy.
Yeah, Charmy.
But then I'd have to contend with not being able to throw Vector and SPO as they murder me.
Nice arm there, Kyle. I want to see how it is. And I imagine Cream, but only because she wants to like take off. So she's already got her ears ready, and you're like out in an open field, and it's like throwing a kite into the air or something. And she's having a grand time, just wee.
Yeah, she can fly.
How heavy is his tails? Actually,
I don't think Tails is very heavy, and he'd fly. So you know,
I'm gonna look this up real quick.
You could throw Froggy a little bit far. You know,
once.
Actually,
Tails is like over 40 pounds.
Okay,
that's not really a throw. That's more of a heft.
He's a beefy boy then, huh? Wow. I'm being told that Ray was born to be yeeted.
You know that's what he and Mighty do all the time.
Of course.
It's kind of like him. It's like with Cream.
Yeah.
Ready, little guy? Ready! Whoosh!
Yeah, pretty much. Exactly.
How much does Orbot weigh?
He's pretty small, but he's also a robot, so who knows how dense he is.
He has an official weight. He is, holy crap, he's over 60 pounds.
Yeah, I was going to say, he's probably real dense. He's got a lot in him.
I could probably pick him up and but yeah, I ain't throwing that. Goodness.
The irony is that you'd think Cubot would be the dense one.
Well, now I'm curious. If Orbot is 66.1 pounds.
He would be one really heavy bowling ball, at least.
Self-steering, no less.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Cubot's almost 86 pounds.
Oh, he's dense. He's even more dense.
He's a hefty boy. So, yeah.
Nice. Yes. Ah, yes. Cubot the honorable, or Orbot the honorable Whipple. Welcome to the Whipple family. I don't know if we could really throw any of them. I mean, sure, a giant mech could throw Jewel, as we've established previously, but I don't know if I could. She's pretty big for a bug.
Yeah, she might need to be hefted, not really thrown.
Yeah. You could throw a Chow.
Yeah.
You can throw Marine, maybe.
Well, now I'm curious. Charmy's like 22 pounds.
Why is he so freaking huge? He's a bee.
And I would imagine Jewel's at least that weight, so...
Yeah? How heavy are pounds on Sonic's World?
I mean, you could still maybe throw Charmy, but you'd have to put your back into it. You'd have to, like, limber up first.
Yeah.
Just because we brought it up, you know, the idea is Cream's kind of just using this as an excuse to be thrown, but she's 26 pounds. She's barely heavier than Charmy. What in the world?
What?
But yeah, I could definitely pick her up over my head and kind of whoop, and then she'd flap and she'd fly and she'd have a fun time.
Yeah. I think they're all a bit too heavy. It's that dang beach ball head syndrome they got going on. Those giant heads, you know. Scourge Time has a question. Let's get back to Moebius, as everything is a little twisted around there. What about fairy tales? Do they have a bad ending like the true Brothers Grimm stories? And what story did Scourge like the most as a kid? Or the least, depending on the answer.
Well, see, on Moebius, the Brothers Grimm had all these really fluffy, happy ending stories, and the anti-Disney made them all dark and nasty.
Well, that tracks. Does he have a favorite one? Although anti-Disney is just Disney, really.
Let's see. What's the worst of the fairy tales? What has the worst ending? The one that first springs to mind is Little Mermaid. Because in the original story, you know, when she gets her legs, it feels like she's walking on broken glass.
Oh, yeah.
So Scourge is like, serves you right, stay in the water. That's what you get for trying to find love. Ha! Because he's a jerk.
Yeah. And Scurvy Pirate Dog has a question. After having beaten the heroes, the ruler of condiments, the Condiment King, goes up against the villains. He defeats Eggman, he defeats Black Doom, Mephiles, and even the end falls to his condiments. How do the villains react to having lost to the Condiment King?
I mean, Eggman's put out, but he's kind of used to fighting colorful characters. It's kind of obnoxious. He's going to take a while to steam clean his suit, but he'll have his reckoning. Just you wait till Metal King comes out.
Oh boy.
Or should it be Chromium King?
Yeah.
Chromium King.
Yeah. You gotta go with the alliteration. The sound alliteration, if not the actual letter alliteration. Although Heavy King is just sitting there like, am I a joke to you?
And Eggman's like, yes. Black Doom would be more put out, except, you know, with all those condiments flying around, his people are fed.
Well, there you go.
Mephiles wouldn't even have tried to fight him. Like, he knows that level of evil. He's not going to mess up with that. You know, he'll just go back to the darkness on his own accord. Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.
And the end doesn't show up as a moon, but as a salad. But still is defeated because Condiment King shoots him with mustard and ketchup. And honestly, who puts mustard and ketchup on a salad? It's such a repugnant idea. The end just folds in on itself and disappears.
Someone does. Somewhere in the world. Next question is from Soccer Cot. Eggman decides to try to seize power through democratic means and starts the Eggman Party. Assuming Mobius uses a proportional electoral system in their elections, which proportion of votes would the Eggman Party get? Okay, this must be Archie Sonic because we're talking about Mobius.
Yeah. Too bad because Boom Eggman had the ballot stuffing bot.
Yes. Well, there's nothing stopping any Eggman from having a ballot stuffing bot.
That's true. That's true.
You might come up with a different name for it, but, it'd be the same deal. Does the same thing.
All the ballot machines provided by Eggman Industries.
Does gerrymandering exist in Sonic's world? It's getting a little too real in here.
Oh, it's real, all right. He's my campaign manager. Come over here, Jerry.
No.
Sorry, that's a Sonic Boom joke. That is definitely a Boom joke.
It's called Eggmandering.
Oh, bravo. He does not get enough votes to win. There is a unsettling number of votes coming from the human territories. Not sure what that's about.
Yeah, well.
But, and also one from the animal territories. Oh, Starline. Yeah, of course.
Okay. Pre-Starline death, at least. Although this is supposed to be Mobius. It's Archie Sonic, so he wouldn't have...
Isekai'd.
Oh, okay. Fine. Figured it out. Or it could be Thunderbolt.
Okay, 2 votes. Well, no, that's not fair. All the egg bosses would have to vote for him. It's by compunction.
Yeah, I was going to say, he'd blow any of them up who didn't. So...
Oh, you got a little I voted sticker. Yeah, you don't want to find out what happens if you don't.
Oh, man.
Instead of I voted, it says I obeyed.
Next question is from Sonic Beta 4. Has pre-Reboot Rouge and by extension IDW ever truly cared about Knuckles? Maybe about as far as she can throw him on Thursday.
To varying degrees, I guess. Pre-Reboot Rouge was built with was written with the mindset of it was something that she wanted. Why? That can be explored, but it was more of a selfish thing. With modern / IDW Rouge, I think there is some legitimate attraction, but there's just as many turnoffs as there are turn-ons. So, she respects him and she does like him, but only in small doses, that guy.
Yeah. All right. And our last question before I take a break is from Sonic Sword Fighter. What is it about Mephiles that makes him so attractive? Is it his voice, his design, his overwhelming power? I need to know.
Okay, this is kind of an extension of the shipping policy. You can like whoever you like, and I will not pass judgment, but I will not validate.
I don't know what it is about him. I have no idea. Maybe I said he has no mouth, but he can still scream. I don't know. Maybe it's because he's got all them rocks, that rock stuff sticking out of him or whatever, Maybe people are into sharp. I don't know. I'm so confused. But I'm not confused about taking a break. It's the voice, though. Let's be real.
Well, yeah. Come on.
We're back, and we got a question from Spoiler1001. Does taxidermy have a more horror kind of vibe in a world like Sonic's, or is it kind of a taboo?
Well, there is a distinction between the talking animals and the animals. So in that regard, I imagine it's still fine. But ask yourself this, would you be comfortable looking at a taxidermied person?
Not really.
And I would imagine that extends to the talking animals.
Taxidermied. Got him.
Got
him.
Bravo. Bravo.
Superior Pizza has a question. Ian, why don't you just blame every inconsistency within Sonic lore on the Time Eater? Like that creature's entire purpose was to screw up the timeline to begin with. Half of the plot holes can be fixed just by blaming it on him. Her weird mass purple energy, metal, and glass thing.
Because 1, that would be lazy. 2, that wouldn't cover everything. And 3, the folks who are not satisfied with that would point out how it doesn't cover what it is supposed to cover and just make it more of a mess.
Yeah.
4, I have tried multiple times, but the Time Eater keeps messing up the timeline, so I speak from experience here.
Damn it, Time Eater. The Cyberspace Coco is here with a question. Is there a version of Ian Flynn that exists in the Sonic Boom universe? Does he write for comics, games, and TV shows in the Tomatopotamus franchise? What does the BumbleKast think of his work, especially in the recently released Tomatopotamus Frontiers? Tomatopotamus.
See, the easiest answer is to go with the self-effacing thing.
Yeah.
Where it's like, yeah, there's totally a boom Ian, and he's like physically fit and attractive and successful and, over there.
And he has sports tape.
And he has sports tape, and everyone loves him, and everyone loves his work, and he's flawless and rich and blah, blah, blah. But that's that's lazy. The other way is just say no. For once, there's a universe of Sonic that isn't infected by the Flynn. But that's not true.
That's not true. You wrote
I got my
2
tendrils
Boom
into
episodes.
the comics.
Yeah, and you wrote 2 Boom episodes.
Yep. So, what is the correct joke answer for this?
I have one.
Okay.
Courtesy of the chat, of course. Is that you are a low-level writer for Comedy Chimp.
Yep. Run with it.
There you go. There you go. And here's a question from the Hobgoblin. Have you thought about how you might use Sage and Trip in future IDW stories yet? Sage as a cheerleader and advisor to Eggman doesn't seem so hard to work out. Obviously, she's going to conflict with anyone who is opposed to Eggman. Trip seems to be a harder issue for me. Her traits are that she wants to be helpful and be included. She's extremely unlucky, and she is very emotional to where she will easily cry or get angry and lash out or get embarrassed and hide under her helmet. But she doesn't really have a clear motivation, and it seems like she doesn't naturally generate any conflict with other characters. I have to wonder. You get to write the next time Sage encounters Sonic and Trip encounters Fang. So, do you already have ideas in your head about how to handle this? Or do you suspect IDW Comics will never be able to play with these characters?
Well, the thing with Trip is she's the new member to the cast. She doesn't know these characters particularly well. She doesn't know their dynamics. And as far as we know, she hasn't been off the North Star Island. So she goes somewhere else. She's in a new territory. She is a fantastic audience surrogate for getting to know the greater cast in the world. And because she has such big emotional reactions, and because she's such a delightful klutz, all those interactions are going to be fun moments, I assume. So I don't have a definitive singular plan in mind, but I feel like she's a delightful addition to the greater cast and, just full of opportunities to have her bounce off the other characters. Amy was able to kind of get her out of her shell and open up and turn around and stand up for herself. What is that dynamic to go from? She and Knuckles are both guardians of strange magical rocks on islands. How is that dynamic?
Yeah.
Sonic is full of confidence and she is not. It's the Tails dynamic all over again. Tails is slow. Classic Tails isn't coming into his own just yet, but he's also had his own insecurities, and Trip is full of insecurities. They have something to interact and bond over. Eggman's a jerk. Someone to fight. No, Trip will be easy peasy.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Looking forward to it. Fingers crossed. And here's a question from the Might of Gebera. Do you know how to pitch an idea to Sega or something? Like a book, etc.? Instructions in these times? It could help people reach out,
What, just as a fan?
I'm not sure I understand exactly what Gebera is asking for here.
Like, if you're just any old fan who wants to pitch something to Sega, you don't.
Yeah, okay.
Sorry to rip the Band-Aid off on that, but you don't.
No.
I say this as someone with nearly 20 years of experience and time with the franchise who has his foot very firmly in the door. And you know what I do? I don't.
I mean, you have the ability to pitch certain things, or at least, suggest certain things.
Not in that regard. No, I have a enviable position for any fan, sure.
Yeah.
But it is not one where I can say, hey, let's do this.
No.
It's more like if other parties higher up open the door to suggestions within a certain field of ideas, and I can go, oh, what if there were this approach? And then that gets workshopped by others. So if you want to pitch a project of any kind, book, game, movie, animation, whatever, you need to be like a producer in a studio. Or if you want to make toys, please make more toys. You need to be in a licensing department or licensing liaison with a company. You need to be in some kind of corporate setting of some authority to make business deals. You can't just say, hey, I have a cool idea for a thing. Please make it. I wish that weren't the case. But then if it were, you, me, and probably everybody listening to the show would have 12 things lined up immediately. And that just ain't going to happen.
No, unfortunately. And we got a question from the Aldi Roger. Gold Ducat, great Star Trek villain or greatest Star Trek villain?
Greatest.
Yeah. I don't know. Does Q count as a villain?
Arguably, and more so in his earlier appearances, though I didn't see how he was in Picard.
He's more like an agent of chaos, where he's more of a neutral chaos type, but he is also a bit evil. But I don't know.
He seemed more antagonistic and malevolent early on, and then by Voyager he was completely defanged.
Yeah. Still funny though.
Oh yeah,
still great. It's still a delight. But Ducat, yeah.
Oh, Ducat. That's smarmy.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And part of, we could do this all day, but part of the charm of Ducat is he never learns his lesson. You can take him down all the pegs and he will find a way to climb back up and pat himself on the back on just how good he is. And then he falls to his hubris and he climbs back up. And boy, was he so smart and handsome and brilliant to do that. It's like, oh my God.
Kind of makes me think of Starline in a way.
Starline is
but Starline is not on his level.
Discount bootleg Ducat. He wishes he was used in the same sentence as Ducat.
Yeah, pretty much. Man, it's been a long time since I've thought about Gold Ducat. But yeah, he was a great villain. Dang. And I should go back and watch more Star Trek again. I'll get there eventually. Tick has a question. The appearance of the Warp Topaz in the Fang miniseries brings up a lot of interesting thoughts, such as how did Heavy King and Starline come up with the exact name for the thing independently of one another? But I'm interested in knowing the development of the plot point of Fang having it during the events of Sonic Superstars. Was this an idea brought up by Naoto Oshima or Arzest and used in development of the game, or is this a retcon that you developed?
It was an idea from Sega, and I don't want to pull back the curtain too much on that. We'll just leave it at that. As for the name, it's a topaz that warps. Easy enough to come up with that one.
It's just coincidence. Twilord has a question. Building off your jokes about Fozzie Bear in Sonic's World, he has two fans, Shadow and Whisper. His comedy brought them peace. But legally, you have to remove him. But now when you write Shadow or Whisper, they derail the script to threaten you. Can you describe your paranoia?
Guys, I'm sorry. I would put him back in if I could, but I don't really remember how it goes. My memory's a little fuzzy.
Waka waka! More emotional damage. Let's see how it is.
I would page him, but he only has a cell phone.
Waka waka! Ian Flynn.
I'd be happy to put him back in the book, but the panel already rejected him. The review panel, that is.
Ian Flynn. With that open mouth smile, slowly turning to the camera.
Like, I can keep this up if you guys continue to want him back, but, no, it's okay. You're going to go back and stop breaking the fourth wall? Appreciate it. I was running out of fourth spackle.
Why are you like this?
Well, it's really easy to apply. You just spread it back and forth. Hey, Kyle.
Yes, Fozzie.
It's funny. Ah.
Here's a question from Vineclad. Given your previous pitch to bring Nagus into the games as a Zeti, would you make some lore connection between Zogus and the cacophonic conch?
Maybe. This would be like a wholesale retooling of the character, so he wouldn't necessarily be beholden to the Satium version or the Archie version. But I guess both were kind of manipulators, so having some kind of thing to manipulate other Zeti, even if it is, Zogus toots as he pleases, and all the other Zeti go, no! Simple but effective.
Zogus toots as he pleases. I mean, same.
I also had an idea, and I'm kind of comfortable throwing this out there because I don't think this will ever, ever, ever happen. But the Zeti all have electromagnetic abilities, which they use to control robotics and stuff. And classic Nagus, Satiam especially, had mind control powers. So I had kind of an idea of Zogus not being able to control electromagnetics in machines, but in the brain. Yeah. The electromagnetism within your synapses, and use that as a kind of mind control excuse to pay homage to the original, but play with the rules set by the games. I don't know. I think it'd be kind of neat.
Yeah.
Maybe he's a Zeti who isn't particularly strong or powerful, and he uses manipulation more than anything else, or tap into that shadow magic that Zor does.
Yeah,
whatever that is. You could have fun with it. I think you can make it work.
You can make it totally work. Yeah, no problem.
The question is, should I make it work? And the answer is no, probably not.
The answer is, well, yes, but also you probably won't get the chance to. Also, there is no magic in Sonic. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's no magic in Ba Sing Se.
I just imagine, I can envision pitching this to certain peoples and getting, patient smiles and maybe a kind of, okay, yeah, that's a functional enough idea. But no, I'm like, yeah, no, I knew you wouldn't, but I appreciate your time.
Yeah, pretty much. Here's Wildcard717 with a question. Drogoon question.
Woohoo!
A lot of foods are associated with cultures. Chili dogs are American, poutine is Canadian, sushi is Japanese, etc. Are there signature dishes for each of the realms of Galaxant?
Oh, certainly, which are subject to change, as they aren't necessarily established just yet. But you know what? Let's go with it. Humaheim's kind of the breadbasket of the realms, more or less. It has the most fertile land and the most diverse biomes, so you can have just about anything there. And considering that it's kind of the dominant realm within Galaxant, they've kind of incorporated the meals of others around the world. So you will have your Humaheim style dishes of the other realms, which they totally say is better or at least comparable. It's really not, but there you're going to find more like grain product foods, your breads, your pastas. That's where you're going to see dishes more along that line. Ajaheim, you're going to see more like vegetable root, fruit based foods, cold prepared dishes for the most part. They have hearths, but in a realm that is like entirely trees, fire is very closely monitored.
I guess that would make sense.
And Shantyheim is the more out there. They're more of the kind of, you wonder if this is edible. It looks too pretty to eat. What even is in this? 9 times out of 10, it's going to be fungus of some kind, mushrooms of something, but you've never seen anything like this. Is it supposed to sparkle? Ooh, it tastes like sparkles. Am I still seeing sparkles? Okay, it's not that type of mushroom. Great, have some more. Augustheim is very good at minimalizing, but making the best out of anything. So like very flavorful, lots of cured foods, stuff that you taste and you're going to remember it because it probably fights back a little bit. Dravheim, not so much. They have a very signature style of wine, which is derived from some harrowing past experiences when the previous lords didn't really recognize them as living beings and more like casks that could walk. But the traditions have survived. They've made the best out of it.
Yeah,
lots of stonework, so lots of ovens and baked and fried goods. They don't eat, but people come there, so they work around it. They eat as like a luxury or as like a hobby. So they'll make stuff. Sure, why not? And then Nurmenheim has the unfortunate history where the Norman young are almost indistinguishable from just other fish. So there was some generational trauma to be had there. It's been worked out. There are oversight committees now. Granted, maybe it was only a few hundred years ago, but they got on top of it. And otherwise, yeah, seafood.
Now I'm hungry. How could you do this, Ian?
Inside Editions. I did you a Sonic cookbook. Let's do a Drogon cookbook.
Do the cookbook before the book actually comes out.
Putting the well-stocked cart before the horse.
Yeah.
Tasty horse.
Horse. And we got a question from William M. The original Ghostbusters film, but it's Sonic characters. Who's who?
Tails is Egon.
Yeah, I guess so.
Oh my god, it's been so long.
Venkman, Sonic.
Yeah.
Stance. It would be Stance.
Knuckles?
Maybe. Guess so. But then who's Winston? This has to be someone like who's new, out of their element, doesn't exactly understand what's going on.
Tangle.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Is Amy Janine?
That or Jewel.
Yeah, okay, either one could work, yeah.
Would Amy be Dana?
Dana. Maybe, yeah. And let's see. Tully? Who's Rick Moranis like in Sonic's world?
A Moto Bud?
Sure, we'll go with that. Is the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man a mech and piloted by Eggman? Okay, Dave the Intern is Tully.
Okay, there we go.
You know what?
Yeah,
that works. That works. Yeah.
Stay Puff is just big.
Okay. Obviously, that means Amy would have to be Zool.
Well, I mean, Zool itself could be Mephiles.
True. Okay. Well, no, you're thinking of Gozer, or...
Am I mixing the movies? It's been a long time.
I think Gozer was the real big bad, and Zool was Sigourney Weaver's character. So it was Dana. It's kind of got weird there. I know he's not in the first movie, but we gotta have Vigo the Carpathian. Sounds like a star line. He would have that glorious portrait. I think that's it. We got one more question, though, from Zach D. Two households, both alike in dignity. In fair Verona, we lay our scene. Our hero Sonic takes the role of fair Romeo in this storybook version of Romeo and Juliet. How would this new passage play out? And who is who in this new version of the classic tale? P.S. To make your life easier, let's just assume Juliet is Jewel.
Interesting choice.
I mean, Jewel, Iet, Brumch. Brum, brum, brum.
I'm tempted to cast Shadows Mercutio just because he dies.
All right. Everyone dies. Let's be real.
Yay. No, that's Hamlet.
Oh, okay.
Much smaller body. Okay, no, never mind. There is a decent body count. Romeo.
There is a decent body. Yes, I was gonna say.
I mean, aside from Mercutio, it's just Romeo and Juliet. Oh yeah, and then him, and then him, and then. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I was gonna say Romeo and Juliet die, and then other people die.
I mean, granted, Shadow isn't really in character, but I can totally see him just giving everyone the stink eye as he keels over. A pox on both your houses.
What if Romeo and Juliet are just Marine and Tails?
That'd be cute. That'd kind of harken to that isekai
That's exactly
story.
Yes, that's what I'm thinking of. It's perfect. Got any other ideas?
I had to pull up the cast again because it's been so long. And man, there's a lot more characters than I remembered.
Who are these people?
Honestly, Mercutio's the only one who really sticks with me because he's the best character out of it. There's always the one.
I know.
The one who stands out. Maybe Lanolin is Princess Scalius. Because she's just so tired of these people fighting each other.
Mm-hmm.
Knock it off. Maybe Knuckles is Tybalt. Just give him an excuse to fight Romeo Sonic.
There you go.
And Orbot and Cubot is the two at the very start. I'm going to bite my thumb at him. Is the law with you if you bite your thumb? I don't know. Who would be Friar Lawrence? He could be really sick and reinterpreted and casted as Eggman. And instead of trying to get Romeo and Juliet together to end the blood feud, he just knows it's going to set it off. So he's like, oh yeah, you two should hook up.
The reason why they suggested Jewel was trying to avoid shipping war things. But I mean, you're going to get it regardless.
You say Romeo and Juliet and you don't pair Sonic and Amy, you're going to have people flying off the handle anyway.
Yeah,
I appreciate the thought, the attempt.
Yeah. Nah, sorry. It'd have to be Amy.
And really, of the two, if any of them is going to be passionate enough to poison themselves and then stab themselves because, oops, the poison ended up not working in the way they expected, I'd see Amy before Jewel.
Yeah, probably.
She's a passionate individual.
Very.
I know this is casting a wide net here. Amy would not for love. You know this. But it's the play. We have to follow certain beats.
Yeah. It might be a little out of character from their normal counterparts, but, that's kind of just how these things go. Is that all? Is that all we got?
That's enough for now. That's the main character. I mean, we don't need to cast Nurse or Apothecary,
Why not? I don't even remember who these characters are. I barely remember the story of Romeo and Juliet at this point. And most of the characters, they're gone. Poof.
And the thing with Romeo and Juliet is, like, they say there's only like the 5 tragedies, and Romeo and Juliet is not counted amongst them. So therefore, it must be one of the comedies. And it's like when you try to box it in all like that, it's
doesn't work. No.
I mean, the central premise is ridiculous because Romeo starts off going, "Oh, my heart's broken. I'll never love again." And then sees Juliet and says, "Oh, she's the only one for me. I will die for her," quite literally.
Yeah.
It's a little silly, but, it's endured, We all feel, we remember those feelings when we were young and impetuous, and, the feeling of the stupid adult world, the unfeeling circumstances around you, they can be oppressive. There's something universal that resonates with it.
I suppose.
It's a flake.
I suppose, but I don't know. I always felt like it was like one of the weakest and most overrated of Shakespeare's works, but, it's just me.
Look, there's political discord, young love, and a pretty decent body count. That is good entertainment, sir.
All right, you know what? You're not wrong. You're not wrong, but come on. Macbeth? You're going to tell me it's better than Macbeth? Come on.
No, absolutely not.
No, you tell me it's better than Hamlet? No.
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 But there's a reason why it endures.
Yeah, I know. It's definitely one of the most misunderstood, yes. That I will agree with.
Personally, I'm kind of favor Midsummer Night's Dream, but...
I do too. That's basically where the concept of Mystery Science Theater 3000 was invented. Where he kind of roasted his own play during the play. It's pretty funny.
Anyway, we've gone far afield of this question, but you can keep throwing more questions into our field by going over to patreon.com/BumbleKast, Ko-fi.com/BumbleKast, or becoming a YouTube member. And if these answers have offended, think but this and all is mended, that you have merely slumbered here while these answers did appear. And as I am an honorable Bumble King, I wish you to be good to yourselves, be good to each other, and we will see you next time on the BumbleKast.
Wherefore art thou Ian Flynn?
A miserable pile of secrets. Wait, no, that's Castlevania.
Oh, that's different. Also, the question was, why are you Ian Flynn? That's what wherefore means. It means why, not where. Or who. People always get that wrong. What is a man?
That exchange from Castlevania does sound very Shakespearean.
Well, I mean, it was obviously probably inspired by some sort of Shakespearean thing, but it's not really. It doesn't quite use the right old...
exit stage right, pursued by death.
It doesn't use the proper ye olde English, but I guess it is a bit, overly dramatic. It's kind of funny how we ended the last 2 recording sessions where both have ended with Shakespeare. Related
we had
questions.
a nickel for every time a BumbleKast had a Shakespearean reference in it.
Yeah. Yep. Makes sense to me, I guess. All right. You need to unplug, replug your sound real quick. Hello? Did you crash by doing that? Hello?
Check.
There you are.
Okay. Let's just keep moving. I'm not questioning.
Being told to be fair, didn't ask you to plug it back in. Well, good point, but...
You've been listening to the BumbleKast, a co-production of Bumble King Comics and the KNGI Network. Original theme music composed by Ken Coda Snyder. Remixed intro by T-Lopes. Find out more information, along with podcast feeder links, MP3 downloads, and more at bumbleking.com and kngi.org.
Oh, no.
Cut that. We are not saying that. That's not going public.
Oh, man. Why are you doing this to me, Ian? You know that's good. You know that would go over really well with the fandom.
It would.
It would not go over well with your bosses, but,
Probably not, no.
If they cared,
I had to get it out of my system.
We know what you said.
I can only restrain my power level for so long.
We know what you said, Ian.